life-threatening situation, the average person's heartbeat can be upwards of 175 beats per minute. A well-trained tango is able to stay cool, keep calm. Their heart rates can be 70 to 100 beats per minute. But by the time I'm done, that number goes down to 0.
Back guys to the channel once again. I'm your host for today's video, Elite, and today we're back to our tips and tricks guide and series, How to Master. How to Master will be detailing every single operator in the game for the newcomers of Siege. Alright, so now we finished off Castle, we're now moving on into Pulse. Now, Pulse has the same arsenal as Castle. You know, the UMP-45, the M10-14 shotgun, M5, and the FI-7 USG, but his gadgets is really different. He has the C4 and barbed wire. For a special gadget, it's the cardiac sensor, which can detect heartbeats for I think like what 7 meters away, 5 meters away. I think. I'm not so sure. No, I don't really pay attention to that sort of stuff. But it can look through. It can detect heartbeats. Yeah, that was actually a bad detail. I shouldn't have said that. I should be able to know how far Pulse can detect heartbeats. Now, we chose Skyscraper for this map because Pulse is often played here a lot. If not in any other map that has, Pulse is good on any map pretty much. But I feel like Pulse is played here a lot, and he's also played on what's the map called? Not Consulate. Yes, Consulate actually. Consulate and some other map, I'm not so sure. But Pulse is really good on pretty much any map, that has second floor objectives that have, wooden floors, obviously. So we chose in Tea Room and Karaoke. And now, obviously we're not going to get in touch with them, barricading all that sort of stuff, because we literally have a sensor, So, when it comes to Pulse, you have to roam. You don't anchor. Okay, so what's the point of anchoring an A site if you're gonna use your sensor here? You're not gonna see anything, all right? And you have to roam, obviously, and you also have to provide intelligence to your teammates. Because if you're playing Pulse, right? What's the point of Pulse? To gather intel, And let's say you're playing in Work Office, right? And there's somebody outside in the balcony. You have to tell out. You have to say to your teammates, hey, there's somebody in the balcony, heading over to the west door, And if you're playing, say, Terrace, if you're playing here, and if anyone's out there, out on the balcony, you can just jump out, tell your teammates that they're there. There's no claymore, just shoot.
You have been spotted.
Now, some Pulse main, well, if not most, I'm not a Pulse main, but I'd imagine there would be a decent amount of players that only keep to themselves, that only give the intelligence to themselves, So for this example, right, you're out here, you're waiting for somebody, to make a mistake or something, and he's not paying attention. You don't actually relay that intelligence to your teammate, so you just jump out and you kill him, assuming you can get the shots anyway. So but the main role of Pulse is to gather intelligence. That's who he is, and he is. Sometimes he's powerful on second floor, but where he really excels at is on the first floor. So the reason why we chose this particular bomb site is because the floor is destructible. So let's say you're playing down here. It's safe. You're like 30 seconds down into the round. The enemy's gonna get off the plant. Below here, this is actually the corner. So I'm gonna ping that again. On that ping, it's right here. This is a very common plant spot. Sometimes they plant here, around the corners. And this is also where you would find, defenders, obviously. And if you say you have a buck, you can just grenade them. But if someone got the plant off in either of these corners, if we're in any corner at all, and you're a Pulse, you can easily, throw up your C4. And just kill him, That corner right there is where the window is. So you just throw up your C4, detonate it, Obviously, you have to get the intel first, so scan. And if they're not moving at all, that's when you take advantage of the time and you detonate it. You have to be particularly fast with Pulse, and I know he got nerfed a couple months ago because they back when Siege first released, I heard that he was a nightmare. He was a nightmare. He could literally swap out his gadget to his gun and vice versa in literally a second. But now it takes a little bit of time, and you have to, you know, be quick with the C4. You know, don't hold the C4 button. Mine is G. Don't hold it and then throw it. Just aim and then throw, and it'll stick. And I can't get my gadget. Watch. Yep, that guy will be dead, and the diffuser will be down. No plant off. Oh. So that's the door. Okay. So you want to like, huh. Okay, C4 here. C4 there. So yeah. He's really powerful on this map. Obviously, he's powerful on any map that has important second floor objectives. You know, most of the time you will be playing here, you know, for this map in particular. This map in particular, you'll be playing down here, you know, just you know, looking through the floors, obviously, seeing if there's anybody. And if anyone's going to go get a plant off in B, you can actually plant a C4 around here. I think that's where the window is. Just go check. Place a C4 and that ping. Yeah. Okay, I guess it's just covered by the little obstruction there. So yeah, just plant a C4 there, and you'll be good to go. Get the, you know, deny the plant, obviously. And he's also powerful on windows, but I wouldn't really recommend doing that because you are leaving yourself really exposed. And yes, they can hear your cardiac sensor if it detects somebody. You know, or when you detect a heartbeat, the sensor will go off. It will keep beeping and like beep, beep, beep. Literally, that's what it will do. And if you're close enough to the pulse, they will hear you and they will take advantage of that, and they will kill you. He does have, I think, one counter, and that's Thatcher. Thatcher is, I think, is the only counter to him. No, Thatcher IQ. Who else? Hearing. Hearing is your third technical counter because people can hear your cardiac sensor. So Thatcher can disable your cardiac sensor for a short time. IQ can detect it from like a distance, I think. So it's really important when to take out your gadget. Really important. Okay, so we're gonna go into the do's and don'ts of Pulse. We're gonna start off with the don'ts. The one mistake I see Pulse players do is that they will have their cardiac sensor out when they don't need to. And the big mistake they're doing is that they're exposing themselves. So obviously you don't want to walk around, you know, and you know, walk out like a mindless drone, and you know, when the enemy sees you, you're actually at a disadvantage, and it'll take you like a second or two to take out your weapon, and but by then you'll be killed. So always hug corners, you know. Like before you enter a room, just wait, scout it out, you know, or you can always just peek the classic way. But in terms of like when you're moving around, don't actually do this. Don't stand out in the middle of the open. And plus, it's not necessary because why the heck are you moving out in the middle of the open when you can see what's in front of you? You know. So when you're going into confined areas like let's say like this room, drum. Just wait, you know, see if there's anybody there. Take out your weapon, you know, just in case if anyone's peeking this door. You know, so just don't be mindlessly, you know, walking around with this thing out, you know, and by the time you see somebody, it's gonna be too late because you're out in the middle of the open. The do's with Pulse obviously is hug the walls, you know, hug the corners, wait before you enter a room, you know. So just wait it out, move in, obviously. I forgot to don't hug windows for too long. And also, don't have your cardiac sensor out for too long as well. Because, yes, you're supposed to provide intel, but if you're more of a risky player, you know, that you want to take advantage, you have to take advantage of the situation. That's what Siege is all about. You have to take advantage of the players, you know, capitalize on their mistakes. And don't wait on somebody for too long. So let's say somebody is out there watching, you know, watching you, they know you're here. Don't hold an angle for too long with your cardiac sensor out. So let's say somebody's out here on the balcony, right? And they somewhat know that you're here, but you definitely know that they're right. And you have no idea whether or not they're looking in your direction or the opposite. So if you wait for too long, that guy's just probably gonna just disappear on you, you know, go away. and you lose your intel, you lose your element of surprise, and by the time you get out, he's gonna be all the way over there and you're dead.
Leave now. Your
No, if you have a
location has been
shotgun.
compromised. You will be detected if you remain in this area.
I will definitely be dead because I have a shotgun out. So yeah, just don't use your cardiac sensor for too long, because like I said, if you hold an angle for too long, right, you're gonna miss out. You're gonna miss out on most of the action. And of course, you always want to move around his pulse because you don't want to stay in the same area unless you're 30 seconds into the round, you know. Of course, it's good to roam, you know, and if people spot you, you just need to get out of there, you know. And once like they're trying to get a plan off, you come back to you take the intel that you have, you know, and then you gather new intel, and then you just C4 them, and they'll never expect it because they thought you're going to be around somewhere else, you know, because you're running away. You know, be surprising. That's what Pulse is. Pulse is also an operator that surprises you. You know, that catches you off guard, and you know, if you play him right, you'll do good. I'm not a Pulse player. You know, I tried to be, but it just didn't work out. I am guilty of making the exact same mistakes. You know, sometimes I would have this out, you know, and by the time I take my gun out to see and take out somebody, it's too late. You know, and yeah. So dudes. You know, hug the walls, wait before you enter the room. Play mostly on first floor, never on second floor. Unless you're trying to like C4 a window or something like that, I don't know. But most of the time you will be playing playing the floor below the objective. Now let's say you play Pulse and you're going on first floor, right? You're going for a first floor objective. Now this is where let's say you have the bomb here. And here, it's a shitty site, but you know, you can invert. How do I put this? You're not supposed to anchor. You're supposed to roam. And if you're playing on a first floor objective, I would recommend you just roam. You know, gather intel, throw some C4s out. You could if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend it. Is throw a C4, you know, on the floor. But if you're playing this site, they will obviously open this up, I think. But most of the time, you will be roaming, and you will be like somewhere, you know, somewhere on Geisha, you know, gathering intel. If you're playing on a first floor objective, but if you're playing on a second floor objective, then most of the time you will be roaming on the first floor, or at least the floor below. So yeah, I think that should be it for Pulse actually, because he's not a complicated operator, you know, but it all depends on what type of player you are. Don't play Pulse and not give any callouts, unless you're the type of guy, you know, to give all the intel to yourself, you know. But like I said, intelligence is a major part in this game, and if you don't give out that intelligence, you will get killed, you know. And sometimes, yes, I am guilty of not saying anything, because especially in casual, I just don't say anything. It's casual, but in ranked, the circumstances are different. So, but in ranked, always give out callouts, you know, and even in casual if you want. But that's just the primary role of Pulse: intelligence and surprise. And as to locations, you always want to be playing, you know, first floor if you're playing a second floor objective, you know, and sometimes the other way around if you're playing on first floor objective. But always be roaming, you know. So I think that should be it for Pulse. If you guys have any disagreements or any, if you guys have any thoughts on this video, let me know. Well, again, we're all here to, you know, learn. This series is aimed to help the newcomers, obviously. So if you guys disagree with how I play Pulse, with how you think I play Pulse, you know, just let me know in the comments, and we'll talk it out like civilized people, obviously, you know. And yeah, if you guys like this video, if you guys really enjoyed this video, want to see more, give it a thumbs up. If you guys don't want to see it, thumbs down. But if you guys want to, you know, see this series, you know, come around daily, then subscribe to see more fresh FPS content, and I'll see you